Namaste, Jai Bharat. We all know that Israel and US, they're attacking Iran, and their objective and aim is clear to the world. That is denuclearize. Actually, not just denuclearize, eliminate all possibilities of them becoming ever nuclear power and do anything to contain jihadi terrorism. These are the two principal reasons. Iran is is involved in jihadi terrorism in a given scale. They have worked on Hamas, and this had continued for quite a long time with the nation of Israel. And how much of punishment the Jews took is something which no one thinks of, because the world still suffers from the hangover of papacy. I have to say that the world still suffers from the hangover of papacy. So they still don't accept the Jews as they ought to have been accepted. That's a problem with the European world, the Christian world. And the Islamic world, obviously, they have got some diktat from somewhere out of the blue. Maybe they say, claim that that's written in either their book or hadith or somewhere that a Jew should be killed. I'm not telling all Muslims are like that, but then there's a potentially dangerous virus put in everyone, most likely everyone, which could be triggered through these religious sentiments that would shift their perspective to radicalism. And once that gets switched over to radicalism, their entire behavior changes. Then all whom they consider as non-believers, kafir is a word they use, many of them may be Muslims, but of a different sect from other than what they are, and even slightly different ones, but they consider a certain amount of people, some people, accept they themselves and their own sects as non-believers or kafirs, and they deserve death punishment. Now, with this kind of an attitude, no society can ever coexist anywhere. That problem, so long as it remains, it poses a problem to the world. To what extent someone can be trusted? You take the case of Bangladesh. We have helped them to form a separate nation because they were suffering for long years at the hand of the Pakistani Punjabis, as when they were East Pakistan. And we helped them. And now they are against us. At least so long as the Muhammad Yunus regime lasted, the present regime is too early to judge. So I'm not saying anything about them. That's because, not that the people changed overnight, the Jamaat-e-Islami was having their say. Many radicals were out there in the street, and the others got influenced. And when others are getting influenced, that's a point to be thought of. These people who got influenced and went about killing Hindus are not so. Few days before, they were normally good people, but that virus which was put in them got triggered. Once it gets triggered, they become a different kind of human being, zombies like. So long as this threat is there, you tell me, how would we believe anyone? That's a helplessness of others. How could you believe anyone? He may be your best friend, but suddenly, if he has got this built-in virus in him, anytime he would change attitude and he becomes uncontrollable. Then he is controlled by that remote theories which were implanted in him, which are already implied in him. Only thing they don't manifest. The situation is very dangerous in the world, and I'll tell you, the European world is going to suffer the most because they're used to taking things very light. and they had been taking these people light. UK is paying the price for this, but the left liberal radicals are together there again. So the British will have to pay for the prices of their ignorance and overlooking. Same happens to the US. Same happens to any European countries, and same shall happen to everyone if they don't correct themselves or change themselves. Well, it is up to them. So, Iran's attack on Iran, the primary objective is to, and if such people have nuclear weapons, they don't care about death. They go by the promises in reward, as promises of rewards in heaven and fear of punishments in hell. It's applicable to many fellows except the Hindus or Bharatiya religions, Bharatiya dharmas. They are not religions. So, whatever reason one finds to attack Iran, similar reasons are more powerfully leveled against Pakistan, if you look at it. So, naturally, even Prime Minister Netanyahu has spoken once. Next shall be Pakistan. Yes, you can't help it. Pakistan is already nuclear power. At least they claim so. Though common sense doesn't make me believe it, with the country who doesn't even know, who don't even make motorcycle engines, can make nuclear bombs, means they must have got it made from elsewhere and keeping it. And they may be taught to arm a warhead and send it to Bharat. That's one thing. And that the problem, an additional problem with Pakistan is that who decides, suppose a nuclear weapon has to be released, who makes a decision? It's never the democratically elected people when they have one, for the name's sake. It's never the civilians. It's always the army. And army don't expect, they're great people, all right. I myself was a soldier once upon a time. But then you can't trust them with geopolitics. They go sometimes by impulses, and especially for a nation who have no national feelings, who have no nationality. They are only, if they have nationality or national feelings, they should not have become separate from Bharat. They are only concerned with their religion, and they believe that religion is really the case, and land doesn't mean anything, language doesn't mean anything, culture doesn't mean anything for them. Religion is ultimate. Such an army, with such a person with an unknown kind of impulse in him, would impulsively use a nuclear weapon on anyone for that matter. Mostly we are the best sitting duck, then that will be the beginning of devastation. So obviously, since Pakistan already has nuclear bombs, nuclear weapons, and claim that they are a nuclear nation, don't play with us, etc. And they are very boisterous kind of people. That's what we call them as Lahoris. Then they should naturally be the next target. Once it is started, one should see the end of it. One should ensure that all possible radical states in the world shall not ever possess nuclear weapons. This one should ensure. So, Pakistan should be the next, obviously. No matter what price one may have to pay. But that's for the common good for the next generation, for tomorrow. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.